These placements of the 11th house lord in different nakshatras can tell you where your most ardent of wishes and desires can be fulfilled from. Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. We have been talking about different house lords in different nakshatras, and we have done a number of house lords so far. For example, the Lagna lord in different nakshatras, the second house lord, the third house lord, fourth house lord, fifth house lord, even the 10th house lord and so on, and I think even the 9th house lord. Today I am going to talk about the placement of the 11th house lord in different nakshatras. We know that the 11th house lord not only constitutes society, masses, working in large organizations, but also our wishes and desires, our deepest wishes and desires. And it is also a very strong house of gains. It is an upachaya house which brings you gains over a period of time. So today let's understand, let's analyze when your 11th house lord is placed in different nakshatras ruled by different planets, what kind of results it may give you, how it may manifest some of your deepest wishes and desires. Now, when the 11th house lord is placed in the nakshatras ruled by the sun ruled nakshatras have the fire sign energies and the earth sign energies. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by the sun, firstly it connects your wishes and desires, your social connections, your ability to work in large organizations, large causes, and your ability to be able to take social responsibilities and also to be able to contribute more and give back more to your societal network, working for large causes or large organizations and getting your wishes and desires fulfilled through the responsibility, the accountability, the fire energies of the sun ruled nakshatras, including your ability to be very confident and have a passionate forward towards achieving your targets, plus with the steadfastness, with the practicality, with the humility that the earth sign energies also bring in. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Kritika, where one pada is in Aries and 3 padas are in the Taurus sign. So here the person, the personality of the person will be a person who will want to go and achieve at all costs, with the one pada being in the Aries sign energies, and will also dedicate his energies, his focus to be able to achieve those goals with the accountability and the responsibility and the passionate energies which the sun ruled nakshatra brings in, but the steadfastness of the Taurus sign energies, but the materialism also with the Taurus sign energies brings in, along with the ability to be able to roughshod over any roadblock which comes in the way of achieving their targets. These are the people who will also sometimes, for wanting to achieve their targets, put in extra energy, extra stamina also. And these people believe in quick action. They are not the people who will wait for ages together to be able to go along what they want to achieve. So a combination of dedicatedness, the killer instinct, the steadfastness, the materialistic power, but at the same time the ability to be able to go the distance to be able to achieve their targets, even while trying to get people along, even while sometimes critiquing people, when pushing back criticism, then achieving their targets is the placement of the 11th house lord in the nakshatra of Kritika. When the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Uttara Phalguni, where one pada is in the Leo sign and 3 padas are in the Virgo sign. So here is a person who believes in service and also believes in giving back and standing by people, by those people who are downtrodden, who are not able to take care of themselves, and serving with a healing touch, with a healing or problem solving energy, but also with one pada being in Leo with a certain degree of regal or royal enthusiasm, with the power and influence which the Leo sign energies brings in. But at the same time, these people can be very sincere while being very stubborn. So they bring in a strong leadership, but these are the people whose energy is enduring. These people are very ambitious and very courageous also in trying to achieve their target. So usually people who will want to be very serving, very large-hearted, very caring people, at the same time bringing the power and influence to be able to achieve their targets, at the same time being steadfast in their goals, not flinching away from their goals, is the 11th house placed in the nakshatra of Uttara Falguni. Now when the 11th house lord is placed in the nakshatra of Uttarashada, where one pada is in the Sagittarius sign and 3 padas are in the Capricorn sign. So this is a person who also will bring in the Sagittarius energies of risk taking, but also fun element, somebody who can go the extra distance, who is very humanitarian, who is also liberal in their thought processes, who will be ready to overcome their limitations of their thought processes also, of their belief system also, to be able to achieve. And because 3 padas are in Capricorn sign energy, so these people will take their roles, their responsibilities, because of this being a sun rule nakshatra, along with the dedication and the responsibility, as if it is their karma. This is their role that they are playing. In fact, this is the goal that they have come into this world for. So extremely purposeful, but also at the same time, because of Sagittarius energies, these are the people who can take a lot of pressure, they can take a lot of challenges in their stride, while also being very upbeat, being very, very motivated and motivating others. So with a lot of integrity, with a lot of righteous energies, being able to achieve their targets, being able to do their duties, being able to do their duties as a karma, as something that they are born to do, with the dedication, the high responsibilities, their visionary, humanitarian approach, as the Sagittarius sign energies will also bring in. That is the placement of the 11th house lord in the nakshatra of Uttarashada. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Mercury, Mercury ruled nakshatras are all in the water signs of either the Cancer sign or the Scorpio sign or the Pisces sign energies. So you will find that the 11th house lord, when it gets into the nakshatras, ruled by Mercury. So Mercury's analytical ability, practical ability, logical, educated, data-oriented decision, a very analytical approach to decision making, combines with the flexibility, with the imagination, with the intuitiveness, with the emotionality, because of it being placed in the water sign energies. So your social responsibilities, your social network, your ability to give back to society, to be able to do more for societal causes, and to be able to do more for others while trying to get your wishes and desires fulfilled, is the placement of 11th house lord in the nakshatras ruled by Mercury. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Aslesha, where all 4 padas are in the Cancer sign, so here is a person who is very analytical, who is very practical, while being somebody who is very supportive, very caring, very enthusiastic about being empathetic with others. So with a lot of enthusiasm, this person will take care of others, will be very supportive, will be very caring, will be very empathetic, and will be ready to take responsibility even in very painful situations, even in tough situations, to be able to help others. However, because it is Aslesha energy, so many times this person can be misunderstood, because here the Mercury energies are getting combined with the Cancer sign energies, the intuitive, the nurturing, but the emotional energies of the moon. So sometimes this person may not be understood well, because sometimes the person comes across as too practical, too logical, but on the other hand, sometimes too emotional, too restless, too giving, being ready to take also painful situations. So sometimes people with the 11th house lord in the nakshatra of Aslesha, because of being misunderstood, may not get back what they truly deserve from society back, while they are contributing to society, while they are doing more for friends, while they are doing more for acquaintances. As much as they should get the returns back, or they should be acknowledged or being appreciated, they may not get that. So this is an uphill task, and only with a lot of hard work, dedication, and with a service giving heart, with an empathetic heart, doing more for others over a period of time, transcending and walking the thin rope, tightrope walk between the Mercury energies, so very, very practical, but the emotionality of moon, then over a period of time they are able to achieve their wishes and desires, while they have been somebody who contribute the most to society. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Jyeshtha, where all 4 padas are in the Scorpio sign. So on one hand you have the energies of Mercury, analysis, practicality, logical decision making, educated decision making, but with the Scorpio sign energies. So this is a person who will be somebody who will hold their cards close to the chest, not give off everything at one go. So this person will, he believes in first, I want to gauge what the other person is all about, what the role is about, what my responsibility is about, and only then I will be able to contribute the most. And I want data, I want knowledge, I want to be able to make a educated decision whether I am ready to do something for the role, for the goal, or for society, or for the organization, or an individual. So sometimes these people may come across as somebody who's too protective or too secretive, and because they believe in holding their cards close to the chest, so it's not easy for people to believe in them and trust in them. While because it is the Jyeshtha Nakshatra, this is the person who will take the most responsibility. If this is a person who is born in a family, many times this person will take responsibility as if he is the oldest, even if he is not the oldest. So either he will be the oldest or he will act as if he is the oldest while taking responsibility, while taking accountability for others. However, there is always an internal conflict about them. How much should I do, because whether I am able to get back also in spite of contributing so much. So these people will take time to trust others, but over a period of time, because yet they are very protective, they are very caring, they are very giving, while being a little rash in their decision making. So over a period of time, they will be able to also develop the trustworthiness and get their goals. So sometimes with the initial life being a bit of little friction and not being completely trustworthy, overcoming the internal conflict over a period of time and then achieving their wishes and their desires, the deepest wishes and desires, is the energy of the 11th house lord in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Revati, where all for padas are in the Pisces sign. So here you're combining with the analytical, the logical, the upbeat, the educated decision making, the clever decision making of Mercury with the highly imaginative, idealistic, optimistic energies of the Pisces sign. But because it is the Revati Nakshatra, so many times you will find that this person with 11th house lord getting into the nakshatra of Revati will combine the energies of Mercury while being analytical but being very optimistic. And because they are very hopeful and optimistic, in fact very idealistic, they will do most, they will contribute the most. And because they are optimistic, they feel if I do more for others, if I contribute more for others, I will also be responded back to, I will also be given back in return. So usually these people will keep giving, keep doing, being very idealistic and being hopeful and optimistic in their nurturing and in their service doing and in their giving well-mannered approach to others. So over a period of time, while the optimism may not be completely long-living or long-lasting, they will also start to be more graceful even when they get less. So usually very sincere people, very principled people, sometimes a little bit superstitious also. Yet over a period of time, at least these people will be able to do more for others while maybe getting less. But because they are hopeful, in the end, usually fag end of their life, the zodiac, the Srishti takes care of their deepest wishes and desires, gives them back much more than what they had anticipated, much more what they had desired. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra ruled by Venus, all the nakshatras ruled by Venus lie in the fire sign energies of either Aries or Leo or Sagittarius. So here, when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Venus, so firstly, there is a certain degree of softness, societal responsibility, giving back to society in a manner where you're also expecting back. So this is a person who believes in give and take. The person wishes to contribute but also wishes their pound of flesh. Because Venus is a more materialistic nakshatra, or Venus ruled nakshatras are more materialistic than some of the other nakshatras, and because they are lying in the fire sign energy, so this is the person who wants to contribute a lot, who wants to do a lot, who wants to achieve a lot, but also to be able to do more for others, but also for self. So their deepest desires get fulfilled over a period of time because of their ability to be able to strike the balance between their needs and other people's needs, and with the fire sign energies to be able to get their goals at any cost, and with the fire energies, with the power and influence and the materialistic energy which the Venus ruled nakshatras bring in. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Bharani, where all for padas are in the Aries sign, so the Aries sign, the Martian energies push them towards getting their goals, and so this person becomes very, very desirous of material results, maybe sometimes also a little lustful for other people or for the love, the affection, for the intimacy also. However, this person also has a certain forbearance towards how they should be able to manage their materialist desires on one side, but at the same time how they are contributing to others, because after all it is the 11th house which is gone into the nakshatra of Bharani. So these people try to strike a balance between how they make the social connection, they make the social network, they make the social acquaintances to be able to give back to them, but at the same time being able to also get their pound of flesh. So usually these people will make those friendships, or they will have those acquaintances or those connections where they have a symbiotic relationship where I contribute to you and you also contribute to me. But at the same time, many times some of their relations may end up being vain and may not being able to give back to them as much as they have contributed. So usually these people may want to get back on equal keel with all relationships, but some relations will always take more advantage of them. They always take more advantage of the materialistic, or they need to be getting more materialistic results. So these people have to be a little careful where their wishes and desires will be fulfilled and how they will be fulfilled, who to make a friend, who to trust and who not to trust. Sometimes these people can also be more internal to themselves, even with the sign of being a little narcissistic to others. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra Purva Falguni, where all the 4 padas of the Purva Falguni nakshatras lie in the Leo sign energies. So here at the one end it is a Venus rule nakshatra, but in the fire sign energies, that to all 4 padas in Leo. So the wishes and desires, the societal connection, the social causes that they want to contribute to, all get driven by the Leo sign energies, the power, the influence, the royal, the regality which the Leo sign brings in, but with the materialistic fervor of the Venus rule nakshatra. So this is a person who, while being very honest, while being somebody who is also very affectionate, but this will also be somebody who can be a little indulgent in the artistic endeavors, in wanting to lead a better life, but at the same time, while they are more generous, they are also a little carefree. So usually on the material front, while they may be getting good fortune, good results, also many times the ability to retain those and to be able to grow them over a period of time may also be inflicted because of their need to be able to live it up, because they become a little indulgent also. But these people are very, very independent. Many times they will depend only on themselves rather than depend on others. Usually very accommodative. Usually people who will make very good fortune over a period of time because of the Leo sign energies and the Leo and the Venus rule nakshatra that the Purva Falguni nakshatra is. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra Purvashada, where all the 4 padas are in the Sagittarius sign. Now this is the person who at the heart, because of being all 4 padas being in the Sagittarius sign, somebody who is very, very liberal, very outthinking, or somebody who can think more for others or for society at large. Usually these people have connections, or they will have a lot of liberal attitude towards the society in general without keeping too much in mind about somebody's religion, about somebody's background. So these people are more humanitarian. These people are somebody who is more compassionate in their approach. But at the same time, because of being a fire sign energy, these people are very, very striving, and usually they will also bring in a lot of authority while also bringing the risk taking, the fun element which the Sagittarius sign energies bring in. So on one hand being materialistic, but being kind hearted, being compassionate, but also very confrontational to others if their wishes and desires are not getting fulfilled. So after being somebody who will go through some pitfalls, some losses, some initial setbacks, then being able to gain over a period of time where they are able to combine their passionate but striving energy, but with the Sagittarius risk-taking energy and the material fervor of Venus rule nakshatras. That is the 11th house lord getting into the nakshatra Purvashada. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra ruled by moon, moon rule nakshatras have all the 4 padas lying in the earth sign. So when the 11th house lord gets into the moon rule nakshatra, it brings in the social connection, to societal responsibilities, your wishes and desires getting fulfilled, and your larger societal connections as well as gains connected to the emotionality which the moon rule nakshatras represent, but at the same time giving, taking care of others, being very empathetic also. But because they are the earth sign energies, this person still be very practical, will be very steady, while also on one side being really emotionally motivated also. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Rohini, where all 4 padas lie in the Taurus sign, so this is a person who's very, very creative, but at the same time this person is also very materialistic. So usually these people, because of the materialistic tendencies of Taurus, but the creative tendencies also of Moon, so these people will be in those professions, they will be in those connections where they can give back more. They will be very imaginative, very, very creative, very innovative in how they approach work, how they want to earn, where they get their livelihood from, but at the same time they will join a service or even a business where there are products, or there is service where they are giving back, where they are taking care of others. So on one side, being materialistic, indulgent, but very, very creative, very charismatic, very attractive also, and through that they will be able to get their results. So very, very brilliant, but stubborn at times, sometimes, through the imaginative energy, through the charming energy, being able to achieve. That is how 11th house lord placed in the nakshatra of Rohini behaves. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Hasta, ruled by Moon, but all the 4 padas are in the Virgo sign. So here is a person who is very sincere in doing service to others, taking care of others, standing by others, even those people who are downtrodden, who really need help and support. So usually these people, in most of their relations, you will find these people are very, very sincere, very loyal, very, very kind, very, very independent also, while they also bring in a certain degree of cheerfulness to how they are able to deal with those relationships. So very, very flexible, very, very giving, while also being somebody who can bring in the emotionality connected to service. So in serving, they will be somebody who will be the most contributing, but even with the emotional energy. So usually these people get attached to what they are doing also, and they seek attachment in what they are doing. If they are able to do that, then they are able to also bring in a lot of more contribution to what they do, contribution to the team, contribution to the relationship also. So usually people who are very, very creative, very pleasant to be able to deal with, very service oriented, but at the same time very, very creative with a emotional tinge, are the people with the 11th house lord get into the nakshatra of Hasta. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Shravana, where all 4 padas are in the Capricorn sign, so here is a person who will combine their ability to give back to society, doing more for others, contributing to social cause, as well as the wishes and desires getting fulfilled through the moon rule nakshatra energies combining with the Capricorn sign energies. So here is a person who is very affectionate, but at the same time this is a person who also yearns to learn from others, in such a manner that they can also contribute and give back. So this is a person who will like to learn and also to give back, and also to be able to contribute with the moon ruled energy, with the emotional energy. So usually people who are very, very charitable, very, very giving, very, very liberal, but usually sometimes who can also be a little dissatisfied with the result that they are getting. And these people will give their or do their duties with a certain degree of responsibility and emotionality, as if it's their karma, as if this is what they are meant to do. Very, very intelligent, very, very wise, very, very brilliant in their approach, and will combine the creativity of Moon, but at the same time the dedication, the service oriented energies of Saturn, because the 4 padas are in the Capricorn sign. That is what is the manifestation, the 11th house lord in the nakshatra of Shravana. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Mars, where the Mars ruled nakshatras are a combination of the earth sign energies and the air sign energies, where 2 padas are in the earth sign and 2 padas are in the air sign. So this is a person who will be able to combine the energies of the detail orientedness, the humility, the steadiness of the earth sign, but at the same time the social responsibilities, the relationship, the social connections that they need to do because of the air sign energies, while also bringing in an intellectual, a smart, a very dedicated orientation towards societal and the relationship orientation. So this is a person who will be able to combine and balance that energies to be able to give back to society, for societal connection, to contribute to social causes while working in large organizations or while connecting to masses. So if the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Mrigashira, where 2 padas are in the Taurus sign, 2 padas in the Gemini sign, but because it is a Mars ruled nakshatra, so 2 padas in Taurus, which means with a lot of high energy, dedicated goal orientation towards materialism, but at the same time 2 padas in Gemini. So these people are somebody who can also be very giving, very, very skilled, very, very competent, very learned also, and willing to learn, but sometimes they will also have a certain degree of doubt. So sometimes they rush into doing things because of it being a Mars rule nakshatra, but many times they may also feel left out, may feel as if I'm somebody who's left out, I don't have those connections, people don't stand by me, as if I am in solitude. Some of these people may even work in solitude, work in a role where they are left alone or left to fend for themselves alone while they are helping and supporting others. So usually these people are people who are very, very inquisitive. They can be very, very good at analysis, extremely good at communication. They can floor people with their communication skills and with the ability to strive for knowledge in such a manner that they can use their competency to be able to deliver most. So somebody who will combine their materialistic energies and their communication skills ability with the energies of Mars to be able to contribute most to society to a very analytical manner, in a communicative manner, in a spontaneous energies, to be able to get their wishes and desires fulfilled with the biggest contribution, largest contribution to societal causes, is the energy of the 11th house lord in the nakshatra of Mrigashira. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Chitra, where 2 padas are in the Virgo sign and 2 padas are in the Libra sign. So this is a person who wants to serve because of 2 padas in Virgo sign, but with the Martian energies of doing more for others, standing for others, even fighting for others, standing up for social causes. But 2 padas are in Libra sign with the relationship orientation, with the connection orientation that they want to bring in. And because it is the Chitra nakshatra, so there is a certain degree of appreciation for others, appreciation for aesthetics, appreciation for the soft side of nature, soft side of life, soft side of relationship also. So extremely passionate in the approach to relationship, very, very fond of beauty, very, very fond of artistic demeanor, but sometimes can also have a certain degree of stubbornness, even a certain degree of ego that they are able to showcase, or at least others think that they bring in. So with that service orientation, relationship orientation, and with the Martian energies being able to contribute and give back to people while being able to achieve their target with a lot of passionate energy, with a lot of certain degree of tact, diplomacy also, and a certain degree of manipulation also, is the energy of the 11th house lord getting into the nakshatra of Chitra. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Dhanishta, where 2 padas are in the Capricorn sign and 2 padas are in the Aquarius sign, while still being a Mars rule nakshatra. So 2 padas being in Capricorn, so a lot of high degree of dedication, commitment, followership, and because 2 padas are in Aquarius, so a lot of societal causes, giving back to society, working in large organization in a very dedicated manner, in a very responsible manner. Because it is Dhanishta ruled by Mars, but a certain degree of power, influence and fervor. So these people bring in a lot of confidence to their work. They will bring a lot of stability in their work. They will bring a lot of perseverance, patience in their work, and extremely ambitious also. But sometimes also these people can be very adventurous and get into those things where they take time to be able to settle it. But sometimes they may also lose the tact, lose the diplomacy, lose the interest also in work. So while being practical, but also at the same time somebody who can also be very, very energetic, but at the same time also have a certain eye on the financial aspect. So they are trying to balance between what they want the goals to be achieved, at the same time the financial acumen that comes to the rescue when they get lost into the high energy that the Martian energies bring in. So on one go, wanting to contribute most to society, give back to society, getting to very high roles in large organizations, and having large network, or at least working in an organization where the headcount may be very high. So a lot of dedicated energy, a very karmic placement, giving back most to society, and then getting your wishes and desires fulfilled through your patience and perseverance over a period of time, is the energy of 11th house lord placed in the nakshatra of Dhanishta. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Jupiter, where one side of the Jupiter ruled nakshatras has the air sign and one side has the water sign energy. In fact, the air sign energies have the higher degree of contribution than the water sign energies, because it is the 11th house lord which has gone into the nakshatra ruled by Jupiter. So here there is a combination of the air sign of being very passionate, confident, independent, but at the same time also emotionality, imagination and nurturing spirit, which the water sign energies bring in. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Punarvasu, where 3 padas are in the Gemini sign and 1 pada is in the Cancer sign. So this is a person who can be very good in communication And in the communication, you will feel that they can also bring in the caring perspective, a very protective perspective, very nurturing perspective also. And usually because one pada is in Cancer sign energy, so these people are also somebody who have a lot of forgiving nature and somebody who can easily let go of the baggage, so they don't carry the negative baggage for long. So usually you will find that their roles and responsibilities will have a certain degree or large aspect of communication, dealing with others, and in a manner, whether the responsibility has a nurturing side or supporting side or not, or is needed, they will still bring in the nurturing, the caring and the benevolent side to their work, to their approach towards others. Usually very straightforward because of the Cancer sign energies, and somebody who can bring in also the emotionality, but at the same time we bring in the competency of Gemini, the very high intellectual capacity, and through that being able to do more for others in a caring and a supportive manner, and through that being able to bring in a certain renewal from time to time in what they do, in their relationship, also in the ability to be able to contribute most to others. So you will find that when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra Punarvasu, through their dedication, through their harmonious nature, through their competency, through that they will be able to achieve their goals, achieve their deepest wishes and desires when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra Punarvasu. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra Vishakha, where 3 padas are in the Libra sign and 1 pada is in the Scorpio sign. So this is a person who will bring in the 3 padas being in Libra sign, so a certain degree of high relationship orientedness toward the person with the wisdom, because of it being the Jupiter rule nakshatra. But 1 pada is in the Scorpio sign, so this is a person who will depend a lot on relationship, but 1 pada being in Scorpio sign, which means also these people are very secretive, or they will not share their challenges, their problems with anybody and everybody. They will listen to other people's challenges. They will also be empathetic to other people's issues, problems. They will want to be supportive, helpful towards others, while they will keep their own problem internalized. And so many times these people don't get the support, these people don't get the nurturing from others as much as they are able to do more for others, because they also bring in that wisdom of the Jupiter rule nakshatra. And because it is Vishakha, many times people also may not be able to understand them very well. Especially people may read too much into why is this person so giving, why is this person so enthusiastic towards this relationship, is there an ulterior motive? Because these people are more giving, and usually society is not ready or does not believe that somebody can be so giving. So usually because of having the large-heartedness of the Jupiter rule nakshatra, but being somebody who internalizes their own problems, own challenges, so, and because it is the Vishakha rule nakshatra, so these people initially face challenges, problems, issues. So a lot of times they have to suppress their own angers, they have to suppress their own emotions, but still being somebody who can be very vigorous and want to give back, very intellectual, somebody who can be who contribute most with the intellectual capacity, with the ability to keep a relationship intact while getting less from society. So that is the energy of the most giving, most caring, and then maybe getting their wishes and desires fulfilled to some extent, usually last part of their life. But when the society is giving back to you, or the Srishti gives back to you with a bang. That is the placement of the 11th house lord in the nakshatra Vishakha. When the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra Purva Bhadrapada, where 3 padas are in the Aquarius sign and 1 pada is in the Pisces sign. So this is a person, because 3 padas being in Aquarius, but is still being a Jupiter rule nakshatra. So this person is very wise, very liberal, very large-hearted to give back to society. And societal causes are more important to them. How society sees them, how they are able to contribute in their role, how competent they are, what kind of competence they bring into their role to be able to contribute in their job, in their career, in their profession is very important to them. Because 1 pada is in Pisces, so they are also somebody who is very compassionate, very optimistic, very giving. And usually these people combine or try to combine their logical side to their optimistic side, giving side, sometimes unreasonable side of Pisces also. So usually these people may come out across also little opinionated, and to some people even two-faced. Some people are not able to understand the 11th house lord being placed in the Purva Bhadra nakshatra, because these people may come across as somebody who is more clever or too clever for people's understanding. However, at the same time, they have a certain degree of inclination toward the occult, but they have also unflinching resilience to be able to achieve at any given task. So bringing in the high degree of energy to be able to contribute most, with a very giving, with a very compassionate energy of Pisces, while using the wisdom and the liberal and the large-heartedness of Jupiter, is the energy of 11th house lord placed in the nakshatra of Purva Bhadrapada. Now when the 11th house lord is placed in the nakshatra ruled by Saturn, where all the 4 padas of the Saturn ruled nakshatras lie in the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces. So here the 11th house connection of societal network, giving back to society, working in large organizations, contributing and getting their wishes and desires fulfilled, will all come with the patience, the perseverance and the fluidity, the flexibility that the water sign energies bring in, with the karmic responsibility, the patience and the dedication of Saturn. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Pushya, where all 4 padas are in the Cancer sign, so this is a person who is bringing in the Saturn energies of serving, caring, standing for others, and almost being somebody who will take care of others first before taking care of themselves. So very, very caring, very nurturing person, and this is a very auspicious nature that the Pushya nakshatra brings in, combining the energies of Saturn and of the Cancer sign energy. So somebody is very nurturing, very, very giving, very service oriented, but at the same time somebody who would put all the efforts to be able to do more for others, extremely generous, extremely ethical in their mannerism, while being less materialistic. However, because it is a very auspicious nakshatra, usually these people, in spite of being more giving, not caring so much for the materialistic effort, they get back more, usually because of the zodiac helping these people. But at the same time, whether they get back more or not, these people will still put in a very high effort, and usually these people sometimes can also get too attached to their responsibility, to a team member also, or even to a partner, where they end up giving much more than what they are able to get. However, their desires are still fulfilled over a period of time because of the Pushya nakshatra being the one. So overall 11th house lord getting into the nakshatra of Pushya, while being caring, while being service oriented, yet you will get enough of getting back from the society, or getting back from the Srishti, getting back from the zodiac over a period of time with your perseverance and your patience. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Anuradha, where all 4 padas are in the Scorpio sign, so here this is a person who will combine the Saturnian service orientation energies of giving back, doing more for others, serving others, with 4 padas being in Scorpio sign, which means they're always in a firefighting mode, always doing more for others, always trying to overcome obstacles, challenges, problems. Very seldom will these people find that I don't have any problem, I don't have any challenges, I don't have any obstacle to overcome. At every given point of time, there will be something or the other which is keeping them down, or keeping them, not giving them that speed with which they should be able to move ahead. These people, however, can be extremely well organized, can do very well as an organizer, can be very well as a manager. So usually these people are also given those responsibilities, maybe not so many rewards, as a give back to these people, in spite of being somebody who gives most and who brings in the competency and the administration ability also. And this is a person who can create a lot of harmony in teams, in relationship, and is very, very balanced, very, very reasoning how they approach work, how they approach their goals also. So somebody who builds rapport using their logic, using their devotion, using the ability to be able to do more for others, stand by for others in the most toughest of situations, and through that be able to contribute most, and through that also over a period of time, after contributing to society, their wishes and desires getting fulfilled. Most of the time their wishes and desires are also for others more and less for themselves. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra Uttara Bhadrapada, where all 4 padas are in the Pisces sign, so here they are combining the service orientation, the dedication, organized effort of Saturn with the positivity, with the compassion of Pisces sign energies, the large heartedness of Pisces sign energies as well. So this is a person who is very, very caring, very giving, but very optimistic, thinking that if I serve more, serve others more, if I give, if I contribute, then there will be time and people will also give me back. But because it is the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, so these people can be very skillful, very, very adaptable, very, very giving, but usually these people end up enduring a lot of pain, sacrificing a lot, much more for others, and then the rise in their life is delayed. So usually one of the most sacrificing nakshatra is the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra. So when the 11th house lord gets into the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, be ready to be able to endure initially the sacrifices, the pain, only to be getting the most optimistic results maybe late in life when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Rahu, where all the 4 padas are in the air signs of either Gemini, Libra or Aquarius. So here your 11th house energies of societal connections, societal network, doing more for society, societal responsibilities, working for societal causes, working for large organizations, for large masses, all get combined, as well as your wishes and desires with the Rahu energy of hunger, greed, and even giving back, while keeping the social relationship connections intact. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Ardra, where all 4 padas are in the Gemini sign, so this is the person who is extremely competent, very clever, but very enthusiastic, at the same time also wanting to work on their relationship in such a manner that I will contribute more to you, I will bring in my competence, I will bring in my ability to be able to look at things practically while contributing more to others. However, these people are also who can also flinch between extreme happiness and extreme sadness also. Sometimes you having huge doubts. Sometimes they can have everything in the world yet have doubts. Do I have enough? Is there a problem? Sometimes they can also have this doubt in their decision making because of the Rahu energy. So the doubt is creeped into their mind. And because all 4 padas are in Gemini, these people are very competent, very independent. They are able to take care of themselves. But sometimes because of the Rahu energies can also be more hypersensitive also. But usually these people will go through huge ups and downs in the initial part of life, but extremely creative, extremely innovative, extremely independent, and through that they are able to contribute more to others. Usually these people will face a time where these people will find that people are not very grateful to them. And so these people can also sometimes over a period of time become very secretive, and other people may see these people as this person has changed, this person is not the same anymore. So these people usually has to go through a lot of ups and downs, challenges, issues, and less fortitude coming from society, coming in from friends, while they are competing with others to be able to give back to others, but also fight for their own pound of flesh. So these are the energies where you will have to take care with those people who can be very secretive, who can also keep their cards close to the chest while you are contributing, while you are giving back to others. So if you are able to walk the thin line between how much you are contributing to others, yet being taking care of yourself, while waiting and while being perseverance over a period of time, then the 11th house lord in the nakshatra of Ardra will be able to give back to you, will be able to serve you over a period of time. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra Swati, where all 4 padas are in the Libra sign. So now because it is the Libra sign, relationships, connections, acquaintances, balance, justice becomes very important. But it is the Rahu rule nakshatra. So there is a certain degree of restlessness which comes in your relationship, in your connections, in your acquaintances. But because it is Swati, so there is also a certain degree of artistic energy, even in your relationship, even in how you contribute to others, even in where you work. So this is a person who is very creative, but also a little bit adamant in how they are able to get the results because of the Rahu energy. These people like their freedom. They don't like to be cowed down by others. They don't like to be chained by others. Usually very liberal, very thinking. So their relationship, their friendship will be with a huge strata of society spread over different age, genders, also people from different cultures. So people who will bring in a certain adventurous nature to their work, to be able to contribute while being very balanced, while being very social, while being very artistic, and through that, through sheer resolve and self-confidence, be able to contribute to others, and be also to be able to get their pound of flesh through their energies of balance, through the energies of justice, through the energies of relationship. And that is the 11th house lord placed on the nakshatra Swati. Now when the 11th house lord is in the nakshatra Satavisha, where all 4 padas are in the Aquarius sign, while it is a Rahu rule nakshatra, so societal causes is the thing which sometimes guide these people and drive these people. So these people want to do utmost for society. Generally they also want their pound of flesh, but they feel that if I contribute enough, I will also get my pound of flesh back. Usually some people who can be very interested in the mystical, in the unorthodox things, in those things which can also be on the borderline of being legal or not legal, or ethical or unethical, or the occult, while being very, very adaptable. So usually these people's healing, problem solving, solution orientedness will also be on the borderline of ethical or unethical, or they will use very creative means to be able to solve problems. So usually people who are very, very visionary, who are healers, who will bring in a new awakening in society, who will bring in a new fresh approach to problem solving and to be able to give back to society, is the energy of 11th house lord getting into the nakshatra of Satabisha. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatras ruled by Ketu, all the Ketu ruled nakshatras lie in the fire sign energies, where all the 4 padas are in either Aries or Leo or Sagittarius. So the 11th house energies of societal connections, societal causes, giving back to society, or taking care of societal responsibilities, and doing more in large organization, doing more for masses, connecting to masses, all get connected to the Ketu rule energies of giving back, to contributing and getting less. So when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Ashwini, where all 4 padas are in the Aries sign, so this is the person who wants to give back most to people, to society, problem solving, healing, taking care of others, solving issues for others while getting back least themselves. So this person will rush headlong because of Aries energies, of the Martian energies, but because of the Ketu's energies of doing more, giving up, rather than thinking for themselves. So this is a person who will always, their wishes and desires will be getting connected to society. Their wishes and desires will be connected to doing more for others. Their ability to contribute will be first to society, or to the large organization, or to their friends, or to the social network, and then less for them. So usually people who are always solving problems for others, taking care of others, they are very, very action oriented, but mostly for others. So usually people who are very, very adventurous, who are very, very hard hitting or goal oriented for others, trying to solve problems for others, and there is a certain thirst for authority also, so that they are able to contribute more. Usually people are very witty, very, very playful also, but sometimes they can also lose their temper very, very easily, especially if they know or they feel they are not able to contribute back as much, or they are not also being given the acknowledgement and the appreciation. And so energy of giving, problem solving, and then over a period of time, after a lot of struggle, being able to achieve their targets and being served least materialistically is the energy of the 11th house lord getting into the nakshatra of Ashwini. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Magha, where all 4 padas are in the Leo sign, so here this is a person who will bring in a lot of power, influence, authority, caring, considerate, passionate energies of Leo, with the contributing, with the giving, with the charitable, with the donating energies of Ketu, because it is a Ketu rule nakshatra. So usually some people who are very, very traditional, with strong beliefs, maybe a little orthodox also, maybe a little old school also, is these energies. So sometimes these people can also be people who, while they are very, very caring, while they want to take responsibility, while they also want to contribute, they can also chase materialistic pleasures also. But people who can also have a certain degree of respect for others, respect for other people's beliefs, respect for other people's faith, respect for other people's values also, and then so these people can also be very, very flexible in how they deal with others, how they allow others their own freedom also. So usually people who will be contributing most in a team leadership, in a relationship, in an organization, to the department, to the industry, and with the regal energies and the power influence of Leo, while at the most contributing most with the Ketu rule energies. So people who can be very spirited, very ambitious, very entitled also sometimes, but at the same time, only because of their giving ability and their responsible energies towards society, and then taking care of them, their own needs least, is the energy of the 11th house lord getting into the nakshatra of Magha. Now when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Mula, where all 4 padas are in the Sagittarius sign, while being a Ketu rule nakshatra. So these people like a lot of analysis, deep study. They want to go deep down and be very, very inquisitive. And these are the people who will go deep down, will do a lot of analysis, and then be able to extricate the challenges or the solutions that the challenges need to be solved through. So usually these people are the ones who will have a very deep rooted, very analytical approach, very curious approach to problem solving. And so these people, whenever they talk something, they will be talking from the deep knowledge that they have acquired, through the deep analysis that they have done. Only through that they will be solving the problems. And when they solve problems, these will be long lasting. Their advices will be long lasting. But because it is the Sagittarius energy, this is a very studied energies, very educated energies, and with a lot of experiences that they are also able to bring in while contributing. So usually people who will contribute a lot, who will do a lot, who will be very principled in the approach to do more for others, while sometimes going down to the bottom themselves. Many times these people rise to the top only to come down to the bottom to start afresh, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. And that is the energy when the 11th house lord gets into the nakshatra of Mula. So friend, now that we have talked how the 11th house lord getting into the different nakshatras ruled by different planets will bring in the certain energy of how you contribute to society, how you take care of your acquaintances, how you are able to relate to societal network, how you are able to get your wishes and desires fulfilled elsewhere. Check in which nakshatra your 11th house lord is placed, in which doshas or yogas or aspects it is in. Through that, these things will also bring in their own flavors, will also bring in their own manifestations. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you are looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.